Lemmy just shook her collar, which can only mean it's time to play the Who Are You? Two.
Toot, 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 toot.
This is, of course, the game we play every episode in which I give you the alias of a well-known band, and you tell me which band is assuming that name. Let's play! Saved Latin.
Well, I know it's a reference to a Wes Anderson movie, or I think it's a reference to a Wes Anderson movie.
That's not the game, boy.
So, no, I'm working it out. I think a band that would name themselves that. I'm going to say Vampire Weekend.
Incorrect. Fall Out Boy. I like your logic, though. The Black Parade.
Well, it seems too easy, but My Chemical Romance.
Correct.
All right.
The Holy Shits.
I don't know, but I had a song by the Holy Shits on my iPod at one point. So I guess I'm about to learn who that is.
So you liked this band, but you didn't know that they're actually someone else?
I liked a song by this band.
Okay.
I don't really remember it, but
Sure.
I'm going through an old hard drive, and so I'm seeing all the music I used to listen to when I was a younger man.
You're pretty young. You're what? 7, 8?
12.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No. It's okay. I didn't mean to sound like that.
So.
I didn't guess, did I?
No.
Okay. Just based on the theme, I'm going to go Panic at the Disco.
Foo Fighters.
Hmm.
I'll be very surprised if you don't know this one. Luke the Drifter.
Hank Williams?
Correct.
Breaking the theme.
Sasha Fierce.
Oh, that's Beyonce.
Correct. Murdoch.
Paul McCartney.
Damon Albarn of Blur.
That's his name in the Gorillaz.
Yes.
Got it.
He'd be flattered to be met with that comparison.
I bet he's begging that comparison.
The Fabulous Killjoys.
That's familiar, but I don't know.
It is My Chemical Romance again.
Ah.
Chris Gaines.
That would be, Friends in Low Places. Garth Brooks.
Correct. Camille.
Hmm?
This is the pseudonym that Prince assumed for an entire album that was not released in his life, but there are titterings online, and I guess twitterings online that...
I'm more laughing at the incredible stillness of your face with which you delivered that joke.
That this will be released soon. And finally, let's tabulate the scores. There's one left, so 1, 2. Oh, Joe. This is exciting. So far, you've gotten 4 right and 5 wrong.
So I can tie.
You could hit even here.
I could tie.
The suspense. The drama. Sports. Here we go. Hannah Montana.
Katy Perry.
This is Deep Dive Divas. Every third episode, Joe and I listen to an artist with but one studio album in their discography and share our findings with you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I had the day off. I went to the mall. I cooked myself a very delicious breakfast this morning.
What kind of mall rat stuff did you get up to?
Well, I had some boots I needed to exchange, so I got myself some new boots from the LL Bean store. And, it's Mother's Day coming up, so I got my mom a present.
Mm-hmm. Your mom should call you.
I don't know about that.
Have her people call your people.
I feel like I am her people. My mom's not very online. I feel like at some point somebody's going to try to, contact her online and it'll go through me. Gotta say it's nice having a mom that's not online.
It's got to be nice having a mom.
Yeah. It's definitely nice having a mom. My mom's pretty cool.
Your mom is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like my mom.
7 out of 10.
That's I don't want to get into that.
Speaking of sevens, what were you doing in 2007?
Let's see. I guess I'd have been a freshman in high school, playing a lot of Guitar Hero. I don't know. I remember being real stressed out about math class and girls and boys. Oh boy. I was into Comedy Central, whatever they were showing on Comedy Central. I was going to give it a shot.
Were you online in 2007?
For sure.
What were the sites?
In 2007, I feel like that's when I was probably really getting into YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube started in 2005.
Yeah, I feel like I wasn't a first waver. I mean, I was watching the viral vids, but I feel like around 2007 is when I was like...
Sitting on a toilet.
Well, no, you couldn't do that yet.
No. The video sitting on...
I don't know sitting on a toilet. What's sitting on a toilet about?
It's a woman with a camera pointed at her person as she sings over and over.
Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet.
And she is sitting on a toilet?
Yeah.
Cool.
What other sites were you on?
Probably MySpace.
Ding, 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 ding. MySpace. Year's 2007. And there are some folks on the popular website, http://www.myspace.com.
Having a mint julep.
Several MySpace users receive a message that takes them to a band's website that has 3 songs on their MySpace player. And that band is the Foxboro Hot Tubs. What do all of these ostensibly horny teens have in common in the year of 2007 who received this MySpace message?
Can I guess?
Sure.
They all like the band Green Day.
Yes, they are all members of Green Day's fan club known as the Idiot Club.
Because you'd have to be dumb to like Green Day?
That's why. Now, the members of the Idiot Club start spreading this thing around like, gosh, I don't know, some disease that is highly communicable and easily spread. None come to mind right now.
I have a better joke for why it's called the Idiot Club. Because they're all fans of Russian literature?
Taking them down, baby. Dostoevsky is never going to recover from this.
Go ahead.
Now, if you got in on the ground floor, you could go to the Foxboro Hot Tubs MySpace, which would then redirect you to the Foxboro Hot Tubs website, which featured now 6 songs, which you could download on said website. Rumors begin to circulate from a wide variety of music publications, including the Perez Hilton, the owner of the hotel franchise.
No.
Maybe the owner of a hotel franchise.
I don't think so.
The residents for a reasonable amount of time in a hotel franchise.
Sure. Perez Hilton was a blogger.
They begin speculating that the Foxboro Hot Tubs are none other than Green Day.
Gee, I wonder how they...
You should not take her toy during a recording. That's what we've learned here.
Yeah.
Green Day is a band from San Francisco, California. They formed in 1987. It's weird. I never think of them as a San Fran band.
I kind of do.
I associate them with California, but not San Francisco.
Right.
San Francisco seems too laid back.
Yeah, I think of San Francisco more as like almost like Portland, like aughts indie bands.
They've had 3 albums debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200. They were inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2015, which is exactly 25 years after their first record came out. That's highly unusual that you get in the first year you're eligible. They've been nominated for 20 Grammy Awards. They've won 5 of those. And they are 2-time Tony Award winners for their musical American Idiot.
I could see them getting an Emmy, but they are never going to get an Oscar. Mark my words.
You're calling it here.
Yeah.
What's that called? The EGOT?
Yeah, they're not going to be EGOTs.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, so they need to win an Oscar.
Like, they also need to win an Emmy.
Yeah, they've been on The Simpsons.
Sure. I feel like they could get an Emmy for like a televised production of American Idiot.
So you're saying before Green Day breaks up, they will never get an Oscar. What happens if you're wrong? If Green Day wins an Oscar, how will you pay penance? I think you have to get a Green Day tattoo.
Yeah.
If they win an Oscar.
Yeah. Can I pick
You're
the
shaking
tattoo?
on it? No, I get to pick it.
By the way, what did we shake on? They get an EGOT or they get an Oscar?
If they get an Oscar.
Oh. No, I'll go EGOT. They got to get
No,
the
no,
EGOT.
no, Oscar.
I mean, we did already shake, so.
Uh-huh. It would be rude of you to take it back at this point.
Take it back.
So Green Day is comprised of 3 members. Billy Joe Armstrong, who is the lead singer and guitarist. Mike DIRNT, whose real name is Mike Pritchard. Supposedly, the DIRNT comes from the sound that a bass guitar makes.
DIRNT?
Yeah.
DIRNT?
Uh-huh. Like dirt with an N. Yeah.
I guess it kind of.
They start a band. Their original drummer was a guy named John Kiffemeyer. He is pretty early. He is replaced pretty early on in the band's history by a guy named Trey Cool, or at least that's what he wants you to believe. His real name is Frank Edwin Wright III. Nerd.
I get why you changed that if you're going to play drums in Green Day.
And that's pretty much been the band for about 3 decades. Now, in 1990, Green Day puts out their debut record, 39-Smooth. This is followed up by Kerplunk the following year. It leads to a bidding war of record labels who desperately want this band on their label.
Who wouldn't want more brain stew?
Reprise Records wins the bidding war. Reprise Records, not exactly a small punk record.
No. Famously, the home of Frank Sinatra.
If you're not familiar with Green Day, they purport to be a punk band. I think we should play every Green Day song at once for the viewers at home. They spend the 1990s and early 2000s selling millions of records, being nominated for and winning accolades from the Grammys to the MTV Music Awards and the American Music Awards. Highly successful band. They catch a lot of grief for people saying this isn't real punk rock because you've essentially embraced the system, the man.
Sure. I'm going to repeat a rumor that I don't know if it's true. I've never tried to corroborate this story. It was going around when I was a young punk. And the story is
You're still a young punk.
Sure. The
And
story
you
is
always
that
will be.
When Dookie was on the charts, the biggest album in the world.
For those who aren't familiar, Dookie is the name of a record by Green Day.
Yes, their third record.
Yes. And
their
what
follow-up
kind
to
of
Kerplunk.
a fan favorite.
Yeah. You can be really cool, and when Green Day comes up, be like, Green Day sucks, but Dookie's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. You hear that a lot.
I don't know if it actually makes you cool, but you hear it a lot.
Do you agree with that sentiment?
I've expressed that sentiment. I think I've moved on from that sentiment. I think they have other good songs than just the songs on Dookie. I remember someone telling me that when Dookie was the thing, Mike DIRNT was not a talented enough bassist to play the bass lines from Dookie live consistently. So the label or whatever made Green Day tour with another bassist who would stand behind a curtain and actually play the bass lines.
Scandalous. So why are these rumors going around that it's Green Day?
Because it sounds like...
It sounds a lot like
sounds a
Green
lot like
Day.
Green
And
Day.
I mean, the vocals are kind of unmistakably Billy Joe Armstrong. So fans start to dig, looking for clues as to why this must be Green Day. Foxboro is a neighborhood in the city of Hercules, which is just 2 miles away from where Mike DIRNT and Billy Joe Armstrong grew up in Rodeo, California. Is it Rodeo? Rodeo?
I think it's
I know it's Rodeo Drive.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's Rodeo.
Probably rodeo.
When Billy Joe Armstrong and Mike DIRNT were a couple of tykes, I said tykes with a T.
Thank you for clarifying.
They supposedly used to break into people's homes and use their hot tubs. I guess it was probably more like their backyards. So people say the Foxboro hot tubs. That must be where it comes from. Ruby Room, which is a track on the Foxboro Hot Tubs album, is also the name of a bar in Oakland, which is in the Bay Area. The record was released on Jingletown Records. Jingletown is a section of Oakland. It's also referenced on the Green Day song Homecoming. And perhaps the smoking gun, in 2003, a band called The Network were signed and released their debut album Money Money 2020 on a record label that Billy Joe Armstrong had started called Adeline Records. The Network wore masks and outlandish costumes, and they put out several press releases criticizing Green Day. Green Day put out several press releases in return, firing back. They're adding each other. And then in 2013, it was confirmed that they are indeed the same band. The Network is far from Green Day's only alias. They also assume the names Pinhead Gunpowder, the Cover-Ups, and the Long Shots. So it wouldn't be the first time they did something like this.
I think it's rude of a band like Green Day to take up so many band names. There's only so many band names.
There's only so many URLs, more importantly.
Especially.
In 2008, Green Day releases the following statement to MTV in response to all of the allegations that they are the Foxboro Hot Tubs. Quote, "We think that the only similarity between the Hot Tubs and Green Day is that we are the same band." End quote. Billy Joe Armstrong, in a slightly more candid interview, said, quote, "We love to play music and be spontaneous, and after a few late-night jams and a few too many bottles of wine, we were inspired to record some rockin' 8-track recordings." He makes my skin crawl.
That's so cool. He's so cool.
The album eventually was put up in its entirety for download, and it will hit record stores in May 20th of 2008. The track Mother Mary goes to number 16 on Billboard's Modern Rock chart. The Foxboro Hot Tubs will go on tour. Their first show is on May 19th at the Juanita's Cantina Ballroom in Little Rock, Arkansas. There is a 300-person capacity at this venue, and this is pretty standard for the venues they're playing in, much smaller clubs than Green Day would be playing in 2008.
I can't help but think that's the real reason they did it.
Billy Joe Armstrong proclaims on the opening night of the tour, "For a little town called Little Rock, there's been a lot of rock here tonight." This tour will take up all of 8 shows. At each of these small venues, tickets for the show are only $20, but you can only buy them in cash at the door. Billy Joe Armstrong dyes his hair blonde and calls himself Reverend Strychnine Twitch. Mike DIRNT takes up the name Michelangelo, or perhaps Michelangelo. I love when people say it that way, even though it makes no sense to me. And Trey Cool, which again is already an alias, goes by the name The Professor. After this 8-show tour, they disappear. In 2009, they will resurface on, here's a blast from the past, Last Call with Carson Daly. On Halloween of that same year, they will open up for Green Day at the Manchester Men Arena, and then they play a small club called The Garage afterwards in Manchester, England.
Up. Cheerio.
Then they disappear for the rest of that year. In 2010, they reemerge at a small show in New York City, where they debut a song called Fuck Time.
Well, do they mean I hate time, or do they mean time to get sexy?
In 2012, Green Day posts a trailer that features a dry erase board and a list of what are ostensibly songs. These are the songs that will appear on 3 albums they put out in the year of 2012, from September through December. Uno, Dos, and Tre.
14.
No. Fuck Time appears on that list, and it is recorded and put out by Green Day on Dos. Billy Joe Armstrong has since said that Dose is basically, quote, the second Foxboro Hot Tubs album. And it has more of a garage rock type of feel compared to the other two.
As a budding hipster, I think I did still listen to Uno Dos Tres.
Hey, no eating the crown molding.
I think I did still listen to Uno Dos Tres, but I don't think I gave it the time of day. You know what I mean?
Would you agree with his statement that Dose feels like a second Foxboro Hot Tubs album?
I have no recollection of what they were like, but I wanted to like them. Dookie was good.
In October 2013, they play a show in Oakland where they play the debut record of the Foxboro Hot Tubs in its entirety and many songs from Dose. Foxboro Hot Tubs come back in 2014 to play South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, and then they disappear for 5 years.
Doing Lord knows what.
Sure. Couldn't guess. Couldn't know. In December of 2019, the Tiki Bar in Costa Mesa, California, hosts a group called The Cover-Ups, which is just Green Day playing covers of their favorite songs by acts like The Replacements, The Clash, David Bowie, The Rolling Stones. They play a couple of Foxboro Hot Tub songs. In that same year, Green Day puts out their 13th album, Father of All the Motherfuckers.
That's bad.
November of 2020, The Network, again, you'll recall that band from 2003 that was later busted for being Green Day, puts out a video for the song called Ivanka, with 3 Ks, so Ivanka KKK, is a Nazi. This leads to the release of the network's second album, Money Money 2020 Part 2, We Told You So, ! And in 2021, just a few months ago in December, Green Day posts a video on their Instagram in which we can see that they are recording in RAK Studios in London, England.
In it. Cheerio.
And there is new music playing in the background. And the numbers 1972 come on screen. Fans have observed that 1972 is the year that all 3 members of the band were born. And by the way, on May 4th, 1972, also known as today, Mike DIRNT was born. Happy birthday. We should do it. We should do it in a parlance he could appreciate. DIRNT, 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 DIRNT. Oh, we're at different parts. DIRNT, 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 DIRNT. Each episode, we like to highlight the up-and-coming work of a discography developing diva. Today, that is Rasan in the Heyday. Rasan in the Heyday is a delightful blend of pop, punk, and grunge. Their 2018 debut EP blends raw intensity of 90s grunge and sing-along melodies perfect for, they say, a Friday night. But guys, Tuesday would probably work as well. It is now time to jump. Go ahead and jump with Rasan in the Heyday and their track, Enemy of You.
Do I mean anything to you? Tell me if I can and when I'm supposed to. And to mean anything to you is to be the enemy of you. Do I mean anything to you? Tell me if I can always hurt you, but I don't really mean to. And maybe getting over you, maybe the hardest thing to do. But I take my heart right back. I take my heart back so that you can have a heart attack and I can just sit back and relax now. I take my heart right back. I take my heart back from you, from me to you, to everything to you. Tell me if I can and when I'm supposed to, and tell me anything to you. So be the enemy of you, to everything to you. Don't look now, there's one more poem about you, and tell me anything to you. So be the enemy of you. And I guess what they say is true. You only hurt the ones you find closest to you. Now tell me, what am I to do? But be the enemy of you. Do everything to you. Tell me if I can and when I'm supposed to, and do anything to you. So be the enemy of you. Do everything to you. Don't look now, there's one more poem about you, and tell me anything to you. So be the enemy of you.
You can hear more from Rasan and the Heyday. Contact us to submit your own music for consideration, view our citations, listen to a playlist of our favorite Foxboro hot tub songs, and support Deep Dive Divas by following the links in this episode's show notes below. So there are 12 songs on the Foxboro Hot Tub's debut and only record. To me, most of them sound like they're ripping off some of their favorite songs and bands. For example, you have Red Tide, which to me sounds like a carbon copy of the Kinks' Tired of Waiting.
So tired, tired of waiting, tired of waiting for you. So tired. Baby's in her darkness. Everything she feels is hopeless. Disconnected from the dance hall. Keeping on the heart of her
And then you have Alligator, which sounds like a carbon copy of the Kinks.
You really got me.
You alligator, you space invader, you swamp dweller making your rounds. You agitator, I'll see you later. Don't stand so close to my ground. You alligator, you space invader, you bottom feeder making your rounds. You
Alligator is also my yuck, icky song. I think that these are some of the dumbest lyrics I've heard in a long time. The whole thing feels completely uninspired. I like You Really Got Me. I hate this.
I think that the thing to hate about it is that it's so much like You Really Got Me.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, the lyrics are bad.
Yeah.
I'll say, in the context of this record, I actually would defend Alligator for being just kind of like silly, dumb fun in a record that is 12 songs and yet feels kind of endless. Something that makes you laugh, even a little bit, is a welcome, inclusion.
To me, the only song that seems to have any originality is Mother Mary, which is my yummy song.
It's mine too!
Wow!
I think it's just the prettiest song, the most fun song. It has more than 3 chords in it, which a lot of these songs do not. We already name-checked my yuck icky song, Red Tide. I dislike it for the reason that it reminds me a lot of the Kinks' Tired of Waiting, but the lyric is worse.
Do you like the Foxboro Hot Tubs better than Green Day?
No, definitely not. I will say, because I've been going through my old hard drive, Foxboro Hot Tubs were a mainstay on my iPod. I think if I was in a car with somebody, I was inclined to put on the Foxboro Hot Tubs and be like, hey, this is actually Green Day. And I do think it's fun music.
Yeah, it just sucks.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
I think that there's a kind of like leaning into stupidity that's not very entertaining on this album. Like a sort of willingness to kind of half-ass the songs because it's not going to have the Green Day stamp of approval on it, you know? I think at this point, though, Green Day kind of needed to do this because a lot of their material was getting really overwrought.
Yeah. I mean, this is coming on the heels of American Idiot, which is then turned into a 2-time Tony Award-winning musical. I think for them, they had to... It seemed like more they were trying to prove something to themselves. Like, look, we can still rock and roll. But they're just so lame.
Yeah, and it only really achieves like rocking and rolling for a couple of bars at a time. I don't even know that there's any song on there that thoroughly rocks. You know, none of this is really essential music.
I think no music is essential, and we're all going to die alone.
Yeah.